You know that feeling, right? You're just scrolling through your phone, maybe killing a few minutes, and then this thought just creeps in. This little feeling in the pit of your stomach that somehow everyone else is doing better than you are. Well, let's get into that because that feeling is a huge part of our digital lives. Hello to all viewers of my channel. That sentence right there is from a study done way back in 2012, and it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that quiet little lie we tell ourselves after hours and hours of watching other people's lives play out on our screens. And that really is the million-dollar question. Why do these platforms that are supposed to be all about connecting us so often make us feel more alone and, well, just not good enough? That's what we're going to break down today. We're going to look at how they're built, what they do to our brains, and most importantly, how we can find a much healthier way to deal with it all. Okay, so first up, the highlight reel illusion. To even begin to understand this, we have to get one thing straight. What you see online is not reality. It's more like a magic trick, a beautifully constructed illusion that our brains are just wired to fall for every single time. This is what experts call the highlight reel effect, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We take our messy, complicated, real lives, the boring commutes, the pile of laundry, the bad hair days, and we put it right up against someone else's vacation photos, their new job promotion, their picture-perfect family moments. The comparison is totally and completely unfair, but we just can't help but do it. And this table just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got the highlight reel. The whole point is performance, getting likes, looking good. It's edited, it's filtered, it's perfect. But then you look at the other side, real life. It's unfiltered, it's messy, it includes all the struggles. And look at the emotional impact. One leads to anxiety and envy, the other to empathy and connection. They're two different worlds. So let's talk about the engine that's driving this whole illusion. Because this isn't just about human psychology, it's also about computer code. The very design of these apps is built to make that highlight reel as powerful as possible. This right here is the absolute key to understanding everything. The main goal of these platforms is not to make you happy. It's not to help you connect. The one and only goal is to keep your eyes glued to that screen for as long as humanly possible. And here's how they do it. It's a super simple but incredibly powerful feedback loop. First, you scroll, you watch, you like something. The algorithm sees everything. It's tracking you. Then it starts to learn what gets a reaction out of you, what makes you feel a little jealous or angry or amazed. And then it just shows you more of that. It builds a personalized feed designed to keep you hooked. So yeah, let's be super clear. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly like it was designed to. This creates what's called a dopamine trap. See, every time you scroll, there's a chance you'll see something interesting, and your brain gets a tiny little hit of a feel-good chemical called dopamine. It keeps you coming back for more, pulling that lever again and again, even if the whole experience is making you feel worse overall. Now, when you take our natural human need to compare ourselves, and you mix it with a super smart algorithm designed to show us the most perfect, most extreme, most jealousy-inducing content, well, you get a perfect storm for a serious psychological crisis. And the fallout from this is very real. Our sense of self-worth starts to get tied to things like likes and followers. We stop measuring our own value and start letting the algorithm do it for us. This leads straight to more anxiety, that constant fear of missing out, or FOMO, and just a slow chipping away at our self-esteem, because we can never, ever live up to the fake perfection we see all day. This right here is probably the most dangerous part of it all. We literally hand over the job of deciding our own worth to a crowd of strangers on the internet. Our own inner voice gets drowned out by the noise of likes and comments, and it leaves us feeling completely lost and insecure. Okay, so that's the problem, and it sounds pretty bad, I know. But here's the good news. There's a way to push back. If the problem is coming from this harsh external world of judgment, then the solution has to come from inside. And it's a really powerful tool called self-compassion. This idea comes from a researcher named Dr. Kristin Neff, and it sounds so simple, but it can literally change everything. Just think about it for a second. When your best friend is struggling, you don't yell at them or tell them they're a failure, right? Of course not. You show them kindness, you support them. Self-compassion is just about learning to turn that same kindness inward, toward yourself. So Dr. Neff breaks it down into three main parts. First, there's self-kindness. That's the antidote to that harsh inner critic. Second, there's common humanity. This is huge. It's remembering that everyone messes up, everyone struggles. It's not just you. And third is mindfulness, which is just learning to notice your feelings without letting them completely take over. So, how do we actually do this? How do we go from that constant comparison to real compassion? When you start to practice these things, you really do change the conversation inside your own head. Here's a really simple way to start. The next time you're scrolling and you feel that little pang of envy or inadequacy, just pause, stop, and ask yourself, what would I say to a friend who was feeling this way? Whatever you'd say to them, that's what you need to start saying to yourself. This chart shows the difference perfectly. It's like having two different coaches in your head. The self-criticism coach is fear-based. It screams, "You're not good enough." But the self-compassion coach is care-based. It says, "I want you to be happy and I've got your back even if you fail." Which one do you think is actually going to help you grow?
And that's exactly why it works so much better. When you aren't terrified of being torn down for every little mistake, it actually becomes safe to look at your own flaws. It's safe to admit you messed up. And it gives you the strength and resilience to get back up and try again. You're not trying to prove you're worthy anymore. You're just trying to be well.
I want to leave you with this amazing thought from the psychologist Carl Rogers. This whole vicious cycle of social media comparison is powered by the feeling that we aren't okay just as we are. But real, lasting change never comes from hating yourself. The paradox is, it starts with acceptance. It starts with compassion. Subscribe to the channel and like, and also suggest your topics for future videos in the comments.